I just noticed these two things a little bit ago, and I think they really highlight the big problem with Justin Trudeau's Liberal government and why they're not like old Liberals. They're not like the 90s Liberals who actually cared about the economy and the individual. The Liberals of the modern day under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau simply care about the government, and they want you to think about the government most of the time, too. They don't want you to care about your own personal finances. They want you to think about the government finances and protect them with your vote. And that is the exact way that they're trying to attack the conservatives these days. But before I get to their attack on Pierre Poilievre and the conservatives, I just want to show you this chart. It's not going to shock you at all, but I just want it to be in your minds. This is what is driving most Canadian growth in terms of the economy. We have mostly the economy running off of increased public sector spending. That is it. If you look at this chart, there's even areas of our economy that are down. Mining and oil and gas extraction and construction are down in Canada, and construction's down. Think about that. The Liberals are supposedly super proud of their housing policy, and the construction sector is right now contracting, no matter how much money the Liberal government throws at it. It's almost like high taxes, bad local laws, and a lot of other federal interference is making it so it's harder to build in Canada. So why bother? No matter how much the money the Housing Acceleration Fund has in it and how much the Liberals are willing to shell out, nobody wants to build in Canada. And obviously, the oil and gas industry is suffering under the attack of the Liberals. But it's mostly just public sector spending growing the economy in Canada, which means it's fake growth. We are living in a fake subsidy economy. Any increases in the GDP of our country these days in the last 4 or 5 years pretty much just been the Liberals injecting money into industries that don't deserve it or hiring government workers. And I guarantee this doesn't even technically count subsidies. It's probably baked into the industry that the subsidies were put into. Anyways, but this is something that the Liberal government thinks that you as a Canadian need to deeply value. The government spending should be treated like it was your household spending. Don't care that you might be going bankrupt, that you have a hard time paying for food, gasoline, and all the other essentials of life. That's a side issue. You starving to death, that's ancillary. Don't think about that. Don't think about that after you're dead. The Liberals think, and this is where it goes to the attack on Poilievre, that you are going to fight tooth and nail to save bloated government programs. And they keep pushing this stupid line that you're going to, because, the conservatives are going to cut spending. This is something the Liberals actually posted on X. So just showing you the post first before I load up the video. They think that you, because the conservatives are going to cut spending, you are going to take that personally and fight to maintain the bloated liberal federal government spending. Check this out. This is something they want you to be deeply upset about.
I'm just wondering, when you say about cutting the supplementary spending, in your view, does that include the newly signed childcare agreements with most of the provinces?
We've said we do not believe in a $100 billion slush fund.
Yes, the Canadians are about to turn on Pierre Poilievre because he doesn't like the bloated $10 a day childcare program. And guys, it's not $10 a day childcare. What it is that the person accessing the childcare pays $10 and then people subsidize them. Regardless if you are in need of the childcare and whether or not you can afford it or not, like Johnny taxpayer gets to pay for your childcare because the Liberals think that that is more valuable than other people's personal finances. And the Liberals think, with their lagging polling numbers, their polling numbers are absolutely in the gutter these days, and they think that you are going to get ticked off with the conservatives trying to make the federal government live within its means. That what you would do in your own personal life if you were in debt is cut your own spending, try and generate more revenue, work a little bit more, sell things that you don't need. That's deeply evil for the government to have to consider doing. And it's so nasty that the conservatives would think about cutting DEI programs, HR, would reduce immigration, would get rid of the bloating Housing Acceleration Fund and $10 a day childcare. It's deeply necessary. And I think that it's a practice that Canadians need to see done hard and fast, that we're not going to cut around the corners as conservatives and try to make people all feel comfy the way Jason Kenney did when he became the premier of Alberta. No, you need Ralph Klein, Jean Chrétien. Liberals used to be like this. Jean Chrétien style cuts. You need to cut like 25% of the federal government budget if the conservatives get in. Anyways, that should be it for me today. I just wanted to highlight this. I find it so obnoxious how much of the Liberal Party's propaganda effectively revolves around trying to like make Canadians like militant defenders of big government. That like a Canadian should think about the government before they even think about themselves. But I want to quickly shamelessly plug the fact that I, Wyatt Claypool, am running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. If you live in the riding of Calgary Signal Hill, buy a membership. This is what the riding boundaries will look like after the riding boundaries change in April. This is on the west side of Calgary, so check if you live in this area. Buy a membership, check out my website, wyattclaypool.com, or consider donating to the TNT Legal Fund, also linked in the Give, Send, Go link in the description below. Thank you for all of the support you guys give us. Like this video, share it, subscribe, and suggest other video topics in the comments below. I am willing to talk about pretty much anything as long as it's interesting. Have a good one.